While the Atari coin-op division corporate records at the Strong focuses primarily on the company's arcade games dating back from 1969 to 2002, as the company adapted and looked more at consoles, some material survived in these records, including source code and assets for various Tengen games, including 1993's Awesome Possum and the RBI Baseball series. And there are hints to games that were announced but never released. While some games, including a Nintendo Entertainment System version of Millipede and Pit Fighter, have source code collections waiting to be explored, others can be more easily assembled, giving us a glimpse into an unseen past for the company. 4 years after the release of the first Police Academy movie, Warner Bros. Looked to capitalize on the success of the franchise by expanding into the cartoon space. First airing in 1988, the animated series took place between the events of the fourth and fifth films, and ran for a total of 65 episodes across 2 seasons. The planned expansion for the Police Academy franchise didn't stop at a TV series, though. Atari licensed the cartoon and began production of Police Academy the video game. Initially scheduled for a January 1990 release, the first version of the game was cancelled, and a second version began development. After numerous delays, it too would be cancelled, with very little having ever been seen of either version of Police Academy the video game. Within the Atari coin-op division corporate records is a folder titled Police. This could have referenced a few different games in Atari's history, but as I began to look at the files more closely, particularly what ended up being graphics tiles, it became apparent that these were related to the unreleased Police Academy game. Most of the files are in unassembled form, requiring further work in the future to compile into a working NES ROM file, but 2 file extensions, .prg and .chr, stood out. PRG is typically where you would see the main program data for the game, usually on its own ROM chip, while CHR is the character ROM, or graphics. While there were 3 PRG ROMs, with dates of October 29th, 1990, November 7th, 1990, and November 30th, 1990, only one of the dates had the matching CHR ROM, that of November 30th. These 2 files would be the key to unearthing a playable version of a long-lost title. To do so, both files would need to be combined. This can be accomplished with various NES homebrew tools on the internet, or simply using a hex editor to combine the 2. The combined files won't immediately run on most PC-based emulators though, instead requiring the addition of a header to the beginning of the file. The iNES format is used by most. The purpose is to help identify information about the game that follows, including the mapper of the cartridge, which the emulator will use to help run the game. After adding an appropriate header, the game booted immediately. Unlike the title menu seen in magazines and in some of the files, this version boots to a very simplistic gray screen and gives us some information about who created the game. Pressing start drops the player right into the game. The goal is simple: as Officer Hightower, try to beat the level in less than a minute and a half. Doing so can be quite difficult, especially if you just try to run straight through it. Various obstacles slow progress, from a tire course to mud to other officers tossing things at you. As Hightower gets hit, his energy levels drop, with the game over occurring when the energy meter reaches 0. Various pickups along the way add to the energy meter, making this a rare occurrence. The mud in particular is interesting, as even after climbing out, it continues to slow progress for a period of time, making it impossible to climb the rope when required. Of course, going fast is more complicated than just taking the low path. Balloons scattered throughout the course can be used to float above the obstacles that would slow you the most, making it just a little easier to set a fast time. Even in its early state, this Police Academy prototype does try to add a little humor to the game. Towards the end of the obstacle course, the course splits in 2, giving the player choice for which way they would like to continue: head towards the finish, or venture down into the restroom. To reach the finish, players must hop across platforms while tires bounce in their direction, and with bananas that cause Hightower to slip. The restroom area is much easier to access, and you'll probably find yourself down there at some point, but it seemingly ends with a dead end. A quick trip to the toilet, and away you go, bring you back to the fork in the course. More work will be done in the future to get other versions of the game working using an appropriate Max65 assembler. Files in the dataset date as early as July 20th, 1990, nearly 4 months prior to this working build, and as late as March 22, 1991, placing this build somewhere around the midway point of what has survived for the Police Academy game, or possibly all that ever was. If you like this video, do check out some of the prior videos I've created, including one on the unreleased Fallout Extreme. And until next time, thanks for watching.